Truth wears no mask, seeks neither place nor applause, bows to no human shrine. She only asks a hearing. Very pleasant good day to you wherever you may be. Welcome to the University of Common Sense. My name is Tim Morrow, and our subject, we're talking about the female reproductive system. And I want to try to remove some of the myths and misunderstandings about it. Number one is the female reproductive system is a channel of elimination. That monthly house cleaning is not a choice nor a luxury. You will have the menstrual cycle, and if you don't, you will live a miserable existence, and everybody around you will live that same miserable existence. Now, the problem here is that when women don't understand it, they go to somebody who they think does, and he doesn't understand it either. Very simple. Number one is it's the fifth channel of elimination. Women have 5 channels of elimination. Men have 4. Colon, lungs, kidney, skin, and the vaginal tract. That's a monthly house cleaning. Women who have the cramps and bloating and mood swings and all that sort of thing, all unnecessary. And the reason why? You simply don't have enough female hormone in you. And you have to put the female hormone in you. I know your doctor tells you that the body reproduces hormones all by itself, but you have to give it the raw material. The raw material is the herb that comes from the earth. The organs then take the raw material and turns it into something the body can use. But you don't just produce it. You don't just produce female hormone. They come from taking female hormone, real female hormone. That's the reason why you use herbs only. And I want to talk about the female reproductive system. And at the time of the menstrual cycle, when the woman is having cramps, bloating, mood swings, sore breasts, and all the other stuff that comes with it, it's because you don't have the female hormone in you. So it's really important to understand that, because the hormone is in living food. Fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, grains, lentil, beans, melons, legumes. It's not in Aunt Jemima, Uncle Ben, Betty Crocker, Sara Lee, nor Kraft. That's processed food, and it actually causes the problem. The processed food causes the problem because processed food doesn't burn very clean. Understanding the system, that first of all you're doing is burning off what is called an endometrious lining. That lining has to come off. That's what you bleed away each 28 days or so, whatever, however long the time is. And there's no set time for it. Some of them go 30 days, some of them go 26 days. It doesn't matter. What does matter is that you burn off all of that endometrious lining. When the cheese, the sticky stuff, gets caught in the lining, then the woman only gets rid of part of that endometrious lining. She only gets rid of part of it. During the month, that's left has to go somewhere. It's then called cellulite. Cellulite is unfinished menstrual cycle, and hot flashes is the menstrual cycle being flushed through the skin. One of the things I want to do, though, is I want to show you so you can understand the dangers of a hysterectomy. This is the female reproductive system with the colon. Notwithstanding the fact there's 20 feet of small intestine in here, keep that in mind. Also, keep this in mind, because this is the stomach. This is when we eat. This is where our food falls into. But just for the sake of the reproductive system and what it does is, in here is called the endometrious lining. The woman bleeds that off each month or so. But when they're a big cheese eater, something like that, it sticks in here. And at that time, it's hard to bleed off all of the endometrious lining. Keep also in mind, this right here is the mouth of the vagina. This is the rectum. They're apart from each other, but this is the mouth of the vagina. It's really important to understand that, because I want to show you now a prolapse. Number one, remember I told you, keep an eye on that stomach. Look at the stomach now. Because this is fallen, the stomach is now fallen also, and has created an acid puddle that is called acid reflux. So this is some of the things that happen. Why did this fall? Why did this fall? It fell because of the weight of the waist. The weight of it. That's, in other words, that's constipation. But important, look what is done to the uterus. Look, it's laying on top of the uterus. You can't have the period right, and you can't have bowel movements right. So this is two channels of elimination in trouble. Okay? Again, this is the mouth of the vagina. I'm saying this because it's very important to understand. Let's take a look at this again. This is the mouth of the vagina. The woman who thinks that a hysterectomy is going to take care of everything, let me remind you of this. When they remove this whole thing. Remember, above here, in the other picture here, that is the small intestine. When you remove this, the woman who's had a hysterectomy 20, 30, 40 years ago, she's complaining that because this is gone, the small intestine is now coming down through the vagina. In aviation, there's some great sayings. One of them is, don't switch from the known to the unknown. And that's what you're doing here. Because this, the mouth of the vagina now, with all that small intestine, and remember, this is falling down, it's not coming down through the vagina. When you use herbs, you strengthen and tone this and make it do its job. It will always remain like this all the days of your life. This colon is prolapsed and is fallen from the weight of the waist. In other words, this is called constipation. You're going to hear me here talking about constipation all the time, because constipation is the number one, and maybe the only disease on earth. But when this prolapses like this, it's falling because of the weight of the waist. This is not restricted just to women. Men have the same problem, and their reproductive system is in the same place. That's the reason why they're having problems with the prostate. So being able to understand that these are channels of elimination, and they're doing their job when you give it the strength to do the job. That's one of the reasons why you hear me talk about Superlax all the time, because it prevents this. If I can prevent this, I've also prevented this. And the whole name of this game, especially with me, is prevention. I'm not interested in cure if I can prevent. The reason for this tape at all is to kind of let women understand their own body. The body's not complicated. Complex, but not complicated. We have to be able to take care of it ourselves. So it's really important that women understand this. They understand what the menstrual cycle is about, and that the reproductive system is from birth until death a channel of elimination. And that you understand that, because see, women teach the household. So that means women teach the community, which means women teach the world. If women don't learn this, the only thing that we can look forward to is another generation of this inexcusable ignorance. And somewhere it has to stop. Why doesn't it stop with this generation? Let's accept this, that I understand my body, I know what to do about it, and use herbs. You know, the reason I put together the herbs that I put together is so that you can know what herb to use for any part of your body. That's the reason why here at the University of Common Sense, our motto is growing old does not make us sick. It's growing sick that makes us old. For the University of Common Sense, this is Tim Morrow, and we hope you'll see us next time.